Gets a little worse, and then I try to forgive, and it gets a little worse, and I try to forgive. You gonna keep adding people? You gonna keep adding people? You gonna keep adding people? I thought we had a good life just like everybody else watching. I thought we was the ideal relationship just like everybody else. And I got to find out in front of the whole goddamn world that all of my life was a lie. And you want me to quote scriptures right now? I don't want you want me to say what I don't. You want me to say something that's all positive? I feel negative right now. I know that. I just want you to understand that. I know that. I never kissed another man. I never went out with another man. I never entertained the wrong conversation. I never cheated in my head. I never did anything. I was 190% committed to that man. And this is what you did? Every time I was gone, you stole my life away from me. I'm angry. Why you gotta do me like this? I was good to you, man. I was good to you. I was good to you. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. He don't deserve me. I don't want him. I had hope when all of this started. When I let the whole world know about it, I thought we was healing because he had me thinking that we was healing. You can't keep telling me stuff a little bit. You wait 2 months. Then you tell me something else. You wait 2 weeks.
Fire, my God.
You torturing me, man. You torturing me. Why you
This gonna be the beginning of this song for sure. This how I do my playlists, bro. I tell a story.
You taking all the strength that I got inside
what's up,
of me.
man?
Just give it all to me.
You
Let
strapped
me
me down
all
today?
at once.
Cause
In my driveway,
I think I'm ready
looking
for
for a way out.
the thing is, I wasn't bored. I was hunting last night. I made a little bit of money, but not a lot. I had did 2 moonshine runs, and I called it a night. Now I played 2K when I got back in from the other job. And then, I called it a night. Gonna be flame. Alright, say that. Shit, just let me know.
Through the
Or jump in the
fire,
chat.
through the
I think I
fire. You can record studio quality vocals in the
I'm ready. I'm down.
Cause it was a dime for it. They won't even live for it. I'm sorry.
Shit was heavy, bro. The nigga that tried to take out Trump. Yo, I was watching. Low-key, I was looking at this nigga record, bro. The other day.
Bully, that's
And I've been
hard.
trying to be patient for you. I'm still right here waiting for you. Don't have me looking crazy for you. It'll damage me if you take advantage of me, cause you know I wanna die for you. And darling, if you want me to, I will die for you. And I
Got another heart on the way, I can't feel shit. Gotta be another way, cause I can't deal with the shit that got the
I like when the beats
Get
drop.
up to the youngest, won't change none of that. You really ain't shit but
You
some
nigga
money.
never tell me about your love. Been hell about
Yeah,
your
it was,
love. Lay down these time and tell about your love. I'm sorry I broke your heart. You know nobody's perfect. You cocky side beater. Lord knows I never heard her. Jump off a jet in New York. We ain't spent time in a while. In the website, I spent 60,000 just to see you smile. I told her smile again, my friend. Saying I wasn't there for you, it killed me. Cause I would've gave you my kid. And I've been trying to be patient for you. I'm still right here waiting for you. Don't have me looking crazy for you. It'll damage me if you take advantage of me, cause you know.
Yo, this playlist gonna be crazy. Okay. Okay. I'm finna run it. Okay. This a banger right here, bro. Banger. Let's get it. Banger.
chillin', tryin' count up 20 million in a villa on the island. With some bitches while they wildin'. We throw twitches on them glitches. When they roam in silence, niggas hungry, we the richest. Only tricks result to violence. We got scorch them if they try. Flame niggas, yeah, I rap, but I'm a shooter too. Like Dame Lillard, I seen money change niggas like 4 quarters in the 4th quarter. I ain't changed with him, my 4 harder had went joy. Court charges couldn't even slow me down. I got book smarter. Now the plane's private like the Fister. When we book charter, look harder. You will see the clarity in the stones. I'm back outside whacking killers. Don't carry when I'm on. Check, see if they miss me. Thought they was happy I was gone. Playing shaxty with these bitches, I know exactly what they on. My dog life, I'm wishing I could grab him through the phone because I know how you feel back when they had me there alone. I'm on the chopper, me and Ruben, and I'm exactly where I belong. Came up, these niggas weren't happy I was home. You ever make a bad decision? Niggas happy that you wrong. I used to pray for times like that. You can't even imagine when I be on.
Well done, well done, well done.
Tell them.
Well done, well done.
I wish I could've talked to B before he made me. I'm knowing if he talked to me, he would've. I told you how to respect the game. How you break the rules, you really brought so many hearts. I barely could, cause I see ghosts in the room. You ever feel a feeling, ooh, when you lose your dog and then your heart feel like you're in it too? This right at the park, whenever I talk, feel like you're in a loop. They ask me when I drop, I don't wanna do no interviews. I don't wanna talk rap shit, my dog in a casket. And the ones I caught, they ones ain't already tapped it. And the hoes I thought they won ain't already had it. Bros, they ain't got their cake up, already had it. I forgot I did. Doing everything for everyone, I almost forgot to live. Trying to keep it humble around the head, I almost forgot I'm big. Now I don't give a fuck who go against me, now I got them M's. War. I had to put my life on the line for this shit. Tell me about it. If you ain't in it with me, don't try to spin it with me. Cause you know how I get, I go 1,000. About the millions. Oh God. Niggas talking about practice. I'm right here shooting a video. Let me call you as soon as I get done, alright? 2 minutes, alright? Alright, I'm gonna call you right back. Love you.
Well done. This one is a bombshell.
Stop playing with us. That's a little bit to the playlist. That's a little bit. You a sample, nigga. I be in the lab, bro.
Shit ain't worth it.
Just bring the weed and the. Come on. Do this shit all night.
Call it 7-11 rule, nigga. You have 11 friends now, 20 years later.
That's some Henny.
7 gonna be dead.
Who could make Henny turn red?
Is you sure you wanna be me, nigga? I just got lucky. Almost everything I love did. I just got money. I done wrote so many names on the wall. My hands cramping up. Friends killing my own friends. The devil stamping up. You want the cops after you and the cops after your children. Cause you can tell them leave the street. Cause you was still in the street. I wonder how Redbird felt being up there with G. Jail of the graveyard you'll see. And that's all G.O.D. And got away with this and that. But all that shit coming back. Might get away with who you at. But lose your life to a rape. Got 11 homies right now in 20 years. Guess what? Cell mom gon' be dead and the rich locked up. Tell me, let me show you wanna be a gangster, my little gangster. Do you wake up with bowling ball nuts feeling gangster? Is you anxious for that bag but it ain't coming? You keep living like a gangster, jelly graveyard coming. They gon' take you to the cell. I be looking on Instagram at all the niggas who wasn't in the
Probably
street.
lay this track tomorrow.
They still got all their friends. They be having great beers.
I get extra motivated.
Be like, damn.
But no, I'm not done it.
I demand my respect. I don't really care for love. I done set the bit a jet. All I wanted was a hug. I'm slamming in the vet. I don't really care for sex. I ain't get nothing in a month. BBS prom set. You ain't with me, then you with the wrong set. This one I been at, my location on next. On the net, dog. Fuck my old homies, I regret I even met y'all. I don't play no games, I left the switch at my ex-house. PS5 above my house. My house got the Xbox. Just for decoration, deal head in my living room. Diamonds in my mouth, so you can't tell I got a missing tooth. This ain't nothing new, I'm been spinning. Ain't got shit to prove. I'm still the pro business and I'm living by the principles. I'm down about my morals and my aura. I got shit to lose, shit to lose. Off a block, nigga, this a chicken coop. Popping like coke, beat the dope with a fork. Yo, she got a body like coke. I'm coke, I'm broke. She got a want as soon as I seen her got a yoke. Yeah, fucked up.
Nigga, I'm from that bloody side, south side, that money side. I seen 100 line, nose dive in front my eyes. I seen ass get on weed and straight decline. Could've went to the lead, now he got time. Chill out. Seen a 50-year-old catch a bullet that when he is all with his fault, but he still got took out. Know in your heart that you and you approve that, man. Start smoking weed and getting pussy, that's when your life gon' change. Soon as you separate yourself, niggas say that you change. I ain't trying to better yourself than them niggas just like. I used to say I wanted the money, but I also wanted the fame. That fame and wanting the name will make your hustle insane. But that name will keep you chained in that jailhouse, man. Just cause you tired of going to jail don't mean you're a sellout, man. That same nigga who say he love you, he'll tell out, man. Look at you, nigga, always mugging with your chest out, man. Chest out, man. Chest out, man. Chest out, man. Chest out.
Stop playing with it. Let's get it. You streaming today? And yeah, I gotta have it like that, cause my computer and stuff near the mic, and it's gonna be this crazy BS. Like you can hear it right now.
Around the local. Let's talk about how we done came up and they tried to fold us. Roddy really anti, they took it personal. What the fuck was I supposed to do? I've been going through child support. A good daddy I vouch for.
I don't be using a voiceover. I got a whole button to use so you can hear me, but I don't like using it all like that.
And they can't even say I ain't tried. Oh,
Oh, I missed the stream last night. I apologize. I don't even remember what I was doing. Oh, I was hunting on our Red Dead.
Imagine if I had $1 for every time.
You know I miss my game PC for sure. Because it's not the internet lagging or anything. It's the same internet. It's this laptop I'm using.
Pride myself off the progress of being off coding. I promise it's so hard to shake. Rather you wealthy, rather you golden, rather you built for this.
Hey, you gonna be on you gonna stream GTA 6 when it come out?
Switch on this Glock and this Maybach extended. FA to ride, the Lambo invented it. Bitch, I'm the heart of the trench, I still talk shit with my dogs independent. Put up the numbers we earn at the label. Hundreds so nice, put food on the table. You ain't heard shit from the clubhouse, cause the Chris probably violated them. Every nigga stop the ops and they chase. Yeah. Doggy got the double murder, still got action. Yeah.
We create the world we live in.
Unless you get this together,
come on.
It's not gonna happen.
Shout out to
Nobody
them.
not giving you shit.
True story.
You gotta work for it.
True story.
Check. Working all these days, I get no sleep. Thinking about ways that I could change your life. I should be focused on what's changing mine. The biggest piece no other words could find. You brought me into this world, gave up your own life to take care of mine. They don't know what struggle is, tell them mama. No, they don't know your hustle. No, they don't got no drive like that. You lost it all, you had to climb right back. They say life will give you lemons. You had lines, that's facts, no cap. But you made a whole lot of shit from nothing. Remember living with cousins, you made sure I was never wanting for nothing. You knew that life could be better, you went and made a plan. Look at where you at and what you done, this shit amazing, man. Yeah, we came a long way from them dirty hallways. And niggas play the field, they letting shots off when it's broad day. Shook the go outside, pray for my life that they don't take mine. Hoping that they feel when I open up, this shit take time. They don't know about poverty, they don't feel your pain. My mama.
Hey, Miss Jones, you got a PlayStation? A PlayStation account? Cause if so, I got some money for you.
They don't know you had to sacrifice to live this life. Mama wasn't this, so how was you gonna get it right? Play the card, you was dealt with no help. Mama, I won't ever fail, I prevail. Mama, I gotta get it cause I'm next up. Mama, I cannot fold under no pressure, nah. Mama, I gotta get it cause I'm next up, yeah. Mama, I cannot fold under no pressure, nah. Yeah, they gon' hate, but that shit don't affect us. I'ma keep stacking bread into the bread stuff. Stay consistent, keep dropping, I won't let up. Mama, what you been through, you deserve better, better, better. Oh, what would I do without you? Gotta put myself inside your shoes. How would I have felt? Could I have doubt? Could I have remained true? I just wanna thank you. You held it down, you kept it G for me. You ain't have no plan, but you was keeping me. You brought me to life, my you the key to me. Yeah, I'ma feed the streets, I know they needed me. Till the wheels fall off, you know I'm riding. And if my mama call, you better know I'm sliding. And if my mom involved, you better get to hiding. Or I'ma get to clapping, bitches gon' be action. My, you gotta know and believe that it's gonna happen. Hope you know it's worth every dollar that I be stacking. Yeah, I'm from the struggle, I said it, I don't be capping. No, they better not let up, I'm coming in when they lacking. Everything that we ever wanted, we gon' have one day. And all this work that I'm putting in, all this grinding that I'm doing, it's gonna be worth it. And all them haters that talk all that shit, I don't wanna see shit when y'all see niggas on.
We create the world we live in.
Come on, true story.
Reminiscing and thinking about you every time that you walk out. Only thing that replay in my head is the shit that we talk about. You ain't give me a chance to ride on my wall, we can talk it out. Only thing you be saying is when I be running, you call it off. I can say that I need you, yeah. Whoever said it'd be easy, yeah. Whoever said we're too young to be falling low when we supposed to be. Need to give me a reason, yeah. Can't stand no reason, yeah. Giving up on everything just to be by your side, you still leave me bleeding. Still young, so we got time. Go crazy, I ain't playing by mine. Some days be dark to the sunshine. Shit crazy, this can't be the last time. Last time. And I see you again in my bed. You let these people get in your head. I understand that you said that you fed up. Waking up out of my sleep, trying to see if you here, but you rather be gone instead. Texting your phone, trying to say that I'm wrong, but you left me alone, my phone on red. I put my prop to the side just to show you on here, and you still leave my conscience dead. Gave me a taste of my own medicine. Whoever thought we would come to I need love, yeah. I need one more chance to right my wrong, yeah. It be hard to see you here and then you gone, yeah. It be hard to see you leaving, proud to be depleting. Just tell me the reason, Night still young, so we got time. Go crazy, I ain't playing by mine. Some days be dark to the sunshine, and I still can't believe it's the last time. Every time I just wish I could rewind. Every time I just wish I could rewind. Cause you making this shit hard with you, and I can't let this be the last time.
I know fast forward, we gon' be a portrait of shit like a sport. I'm a real born one. No, I'm up still riding in a Honda Accord. Give a love to that boy, I never forgive. Forget I had it rough, at me thinking we don't realize. Everything was blemish, I had to run away from no vibe. I'm that nigga forever, I get it. How you been moving, I swear I don't feel it. Cut back from music, no more than them drugs I'm abusing. I'm thinking getting rid of the belly. How you been doing? You know that I'm ready to get to it. I'm pressure whenever I'm in. I catch my spit, I've been doing too much of that popping forever. I'm grave digging. Time been moving slow, I won't let go. I want that Wraith and she want a Bronco. I done gave my all to you and everyone that knows no. Never I stop loving you, I'm fucked up for that we ain't
I need
go.
love, yeah. I need one more chance to right my wrong, yeah. It be hard to see you here and then you gone, yeah. It be hard to see you leaving, proud to be depleting. Just tell me the reason, Night still young, so we got time. Go crazy, I ain't playing by mine. Some days be dark to the sunshine, and I still can't believe it's the last time. Every time I just wish I could rewind. Every time I just wish I could rewind. Cause you making this shit hard with you, and I can't let this be the last time.
Whoa. What's that? Baltimore? Yeah, that was like last week.
Dilworth Plaza, July 25th through July 28th. Watch parties. Come on, it's the Game Zone Hub. It's gonna be good vibes, good music, good people. Okay, so I'll see you there.
This is a Kizik shoe. It's a hands-free shoe that you just slip right on and stays on. After years of development, we have come up with a hands-free shoe to fit your everyday life. The response has been, well, pretty dang good. No more crushed heels with our scientifically tested spring-back technology. But what's the point in hands-free shoes that aren't comfy? These bad boys make it feel like walking on clouds. And oh yeah, look at those styles. Kizik is your shoe that has it all. With free US shipping and returns, there is no excuse to not go hands-free. Go to kizik.com and get yours today.
What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a cowardly act committed this past weekend in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out. This involving this man right here who's in jail right now currently with first-degree murder charges and no bond. This dude right here is Omar Passmore, 28-year-old idiot and a child in the mind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard this story or not, this cowardly dude is 6'2", 260. This guy right here is currently in jail, like I said, for shooting a 12-year-old girl after an argument with the mother. He already had a separation order or order of, how you say it, you know, where they tell you to stay away from him, a restraining order. Somehow this guy who shares a child with the mother of this 12-year-old girl whose name is Brianna Cormley, may she rest in peace, went to the house. The 12-year-old girl was there by herself and began to argue with her and then shot her up. She tragically lost her life. This guy was caught over the weekend and he's in jail right now. I want you to take a look at this story and I'm going to come back and say a few things. Check it out.
No bond for Omar Passmore. The 28-year-old appeared here inside Baltimore City District Court by video after being taken into custody over the weekend for the murder of 12-year-old Brianna Cormley. Investigators say the child was found shot to death inside a home here on North Kenwood Avenue in southeast Baltimore's McElderly Park neighborhood Friday.
Number one male, dark complexion, 6'2", approximately 260 pounds, wearing a blue-gray hat.
Passmore quickly named a suspect. Newly obtained court records shedding new light on their relationship and the case. Detailed here, Passmore and Cormley's mother have a child together. Witnesses told police the victim was home alone and Passmore arrived at the location, entering the home through the front door. According to the statement of charges, loud yelling could be heard coming from inside. Then, for unknown reasons, Omar Passmore then shot and killed Brianna Cormley. Passmore was seen briefly sitting on the front steps of the home before leaving on foot. The child discovered on the first floor of the home with obvious gunshot wounds to her body.
The grandmother came home.
This neighbor says the victim's grandmother made the heart-wrenching discovery. He placed the stuffed bear on the family's front stoop, adding his daughter went to school with the victim. According to Baltimore City Public Schools, Cormley attended the National Academy Foundation.
Messed up about it because I was out here when it happened.
The haunting question, why, also not answered in court. During the hearing, Passmore remained silent. Officials revealed he's unemployed, has attempted suicide, and nearly a year ago had a domestic violence protective order filed and granted against him. The victim in that case sharing the same last name as this 12-year-old victim, according to prosecutors. A deeper look into Passmore's criminal history shows back in 2021 he had another protective order filed against him, but that order was denied. And most recently, in May 2024, Passmore was charged with misdemeanor destruction of property. Passmore awaiting his trial in that case, and now also for the murder of 12-year-old Brianna Cormley.
All right, guys, that's the story of what happened to 12-year-old Brianna Cormley. May she rest in peace. And the reason why this man, Omar Passmore, 28 years old, a dumbass, is locked up. You'll think at 28 years of age, he would know how to deal with or have a relationship with somebody of the opposite sex. And you'd also think in his head, he would figure that if something ain't gonna work, there's no reason to keep dealing with it if it's gonna wind up getting you put in prison or have you have heartache over something you can't control. We all choose who we want to be with, and we also choose when it's over. But some people don't see it like that.
He better get his vocabulary.
This guy had restraining order on him. I don't know why I couldn't remember that at the beginning when you were talking, but he had a restraining order against him. He also did something where you see it's a pattern: destruction of property, destructive behavior. And a lot of times this destructive behavior is prevalent in the destruction of the relationship.
Been looking for the past year to get these dental implants put in, because otherwise it would be up to 10 months or so of
Is it always a guy's fault? No. But I mean, it's always something done to where one of the two parties involved in said relationship say, you know what? That's it. I don't want to deal with you no more. Supposedly, he has a child with her. So for a lot of people out there that say, oh, a baby changes a man, it makes him do better. No, sometimes it makes him worse. Because a child has a lot of responsibility. You can't put a lot of responsibility on a person that's irresponsible. This guy right here need to be ashamed of himself. Like a lot of other people in them positions. Trust me, because I've had some knockdown, drag out arguments with my baby moms. I never said to myself, I'm gonna turn it on the kid or a kid that ain't mine. Don't you think about that? That 12-year-old girl is not his child. He got mad at the mom and turned his aggression towards her. He's more childish than the actual child herself. She should still be here. Rest of her life ahead of her. Won't see her sweet 16, won't go to prom, won't fall in love, won't have children of her own, won't learn from mistakes that her mom made from the example of seeing a dude like Omar Passmore. He's sitting up in jail, he ain't talking. He's sitting there sad. Some videos you see him, he look like he crying when he in handcuffs. You got a fucking hell of a nerve. You didn't see this coming? You didn't see this coming for you? You didn't see you was heading on a speeding train to nowhere? And instead of jumping off, you increased the speed to prove you're a man against somebody that didn't want you as a man? That's the thing. Said this girl was found by her grandmother. Can you imagine your mother's mother got to find you shot up and dead in the house? Said he shot her up, then went outside and sat for a little bit, gathered his thoughts, and then went down the goddamn street like nothing ever happened. You killed the baby and left her in the house. We don't know if she was dead when he actually shot her up, or if she suffered on that floor by herself. What ran through her head before she took her last breaths? See, it's the type of stuff people don't think about before they pull the trigger and point another gun at somebody else. What did she do that was so bad that you killed her after being upset with the mom? This type of stuff.
He still donating $45 million? I'm sorry?
At no point did I say that I was donating $45 million to Trump. That was a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal.
So what do you expect to hear from Netanyahu today?
I assume he's going to tell us about the state of Israel and Gaza. That's, I think he said yes. there lawmakers around here?
Will you be meeting with the Prime Minister?
Mr. Musk, are you still going to donate to Trump? Do you still donate $45 million?
Yo, he turned around like, yo. Yo, he turned around like, how you know? Yo. That's wild, man.
Good afternoon. So, unfortunately, we are here once again to report another senseless murder in the streets of Philadelphia. Now, the murder victim in this incident was a 16-year-old male, Jamil Wyatt. This investigation is ongoing, so I'll be limited in the information I can provide you. But here's what I can tell you. Yesterday at 4:04 p.m., 2nd District officers responded to a radio call for a person with a gun hospital case on the 1200 block of Van Kirk Street. Upon arrival, the officers observed a Jamil Wyatt in the rear driveway suffered from multiple gunshot wounds to the body. He was immediately transported to Jefferson Hospital by police, where he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced at 4:39 p.m. So preliminarily, the victim was walking through the rear driveway to the store by himself when 3 individuals dressed in all black and had masks on exited a white 2013 Nissan Sentra. This car had light tinted windows. They began to chase Mr. Wyatt through the driveway, firing their weapons. Ultimately, Mr. Wyatt was shot multiple times. He then falls to the ground, and the shooters began to shoot again as he is on the ground. Now, we did collect 60 pieces of FCCs, which is fire cartridge casings, from the scene. Now, the shooters, after they did this crime, got back into the white Nissan and fled the location. This investigation, like I said again, is still ongoing. What I will say is this: along with the community support, the media coverage as well.
Young is gonna get caught by the end of the week. There's too many cameras up there. It's too many cameras up there in the driveways and the alleyways and the gangways. I don't know where y'all from, but yeah, we call them alleyways in Philly. There's too many cameras back there, bruh. People park their cars back there. And thanks to the kid, boy, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. Because any second, your car could go missing as well. So, ridiculous. These young boys need something.
We believe an arrest can be made for the murder of Jamil Wyatt. So if anyone has any information, please call the homicide unit at 215-686-3334 or PPD's tip line at 215-686-TIPS or 8477, or you can email as well, tips@phillypolice.com. And again, any information you can provide to homicide investigations will be definitely helpful. Do you have any questions?
Do you know if they were 3 males, and do you have any surveillance video or any video?
Again, the investigation is still ongoing. We do have some video. We're going to call it 3 individuals because, again, they were masked and some had, in fact, gloves on.
And my second question was just, do you know anything about the 16-year-old, like if he was a student somewhere, or just any, speaking of this mailing or anything like that you can share?
I don't have that information.
Okay.
Is there any indication of a motive, whether these individuals may have also been teens?
There's no indication of a motive as of now. We don't know the age of the shooters.
Chief Inspector Small did say yesterday that the victim's gun.
How do y'all ask those type of questions?
Are you able to elaborate on that any further?
Do you know
Well, I can't get into his record, but based on that indication, there's no indication that he is known to police in that manner that requires someone to shoot him a number of times.
I was going to ask about that too. I mean, to be shot once is horrific, but the way this was committed is, the entire investigation is still reeling from it. Are you able to say anything more about that? The number of shots fired, proximity?
Well, from the video we did recover, you can see a number of shots being fired once the individual goes down, Mr. Wyatt goes down, and they continue to shoot as he's on the ground. Other than that, we don't have any other information.
On that, are they shooting like over him or at close range, or are they just continuing to shoot from afar, or can you describe that?
It was close range. So once he goes down, individuals stand next to him or close to him and then begin to shoot.
And I know you've seen a lot, but to see that happen to a 16-year-old shot at close range, what goes through your mind?
Well, again, as I opened up, it's another senseless murder in the city of Philadelphia, and a juvenile as well. It's sad. It has to stop. We have to find a way to get the guns off the street as well. But I think, importantly, if you know something, you got to say something. You really have to tell us what's going on. It would help us in our investigation immensely.
It seems to me that this is probably a targeted type of shooting. Do you think that, or was there something that those they wanted with retribution? I mean, any indication of why they would run this guy down in the back alley of a store?
Well, we don't have any indication why they would do it. It would appear to be targeted, but I think it's also important to understand he was the only individual in that driveway. So one would believe he was targeted, but again, we have to look into that as part of our investigation.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul. The issue with the tag possibly being temporary on the back of the vehicle, I think is something unfortunately we're seeing a lot with homicide cases. Can you talk about, how common this is and what kind of challenge that poses, for investigators when they're following up on these?
Sure. Well, it's always a challenge. I'll say this, the people who are out there committing crimes have nothing but time to think about how to do crimes. And this is one of the tactics they use. Switch out the tags or paper tags, whatever the case may be. And it's very challenging. But again, we have many eyes out there in the streets of Philadelphia. If you see something, again, you have to let us know. We have the resources, we have the infrastructure in place that if you have an anonymous tip, feel free to give us that tip. We will look into that tip and go forward with our investigation.
I know there has been, I remember almost like right there was another teenager that was gunned down near an apartment complex. There has been a number of shootings involving younger people in that area. Is that, I guess, a door you guys are looking at as group violence or anything like that?
Well, right now we're taking this as an individual case, but as we continue with our investigation, it may lead that direction, but I can't say that at this time.
Is there any indication that the car may have been following the victim, and how far along do you think that they may have been watching this young man?
Well, again, that's part of the investigation. Again, this has happened just yesterday. So we're going to take all of our investigative steps to find out exactly what happened and move forward with our investigation.
What are some of those investigative steps that you take in a case like this where surveillance video may be involved? It happened during the daytime. Describe some of those steps without giving away, what you're
right. Well, I won't give out too much, but we use a lot of technology and, of course, the science that helps us bring a number of these cases in. But surveillance video does help. But one of our biggest helps is the public, because the public tends to see exactly what's going on and know what's going on. So that does help us a lot.
Did Wyatt know that they were coming before the first gunshot, or was it all just?
Based on what we can see, I guess it's a spider sense, for lack of a better word. You feeling something's going on, something's not right, and then you flee. Unfortunately, he was shot, and during the course of him trying to flee the area.
Have you talked to his family?
Yeah,
How are they?
The investigators and the supervisors did talk to the family, and how they feel. I can only imagine how they feel. It can't be a good feeling.
Have you been able to identify the type of weapon involved?
We have, again, 60 FCCs of a 9mm caliber. The actual type of weapon, we have no idea at this time.
They approached him in the alley. Can you say what he was doing in the alley?
Well, from our understanding, based on the investigative notes, he was just walking towards the store. Again, he's by himself at the time of this incident.
So I'm coming in. Y'all said 2:45, so I walked in at 44. So I missed what I just got caught up on. You all say you don't believe he was targeted, but that original email mentioned they chased him, they shot him, and then they even shot him after he fell. That definitely doesn't sound like something that is not targeted. What makes you so go back on you don't know if he's targeted?
Well, again, it's just, remember the incident happened yesterday, so it's part of our investigations. And like I said earlier, it would appear that he was targeted because he was the only one in the alleyway. But again, we can't say that definitively until we get through our investigation.
One more question. I just spoke with the anti-violent group that they've been on the ground talking with people in the 3 neighborhoods now that have been affected by violence with kids. They're saying they're already hearing people, they already want to retaliate. It's a hard feat for them to de-escalate these things they know are likely going to happen. They had a message for people thinking that. Do you have a message? Or is that a hard sell to convince whoever may be seeing this late tonight, like, I know you want to pop off, but you shouldn't? Is there any message you have to people who may already be plotting on committing even more crimes that are affecting these neighborhoods?
Well, I think you said it eloquently. If you're thinking about it, don't do it. There's no benefit from doing this. It only escalates, it continues, and then ultimately loss of lives. We don't want that. We don't need that. If you see something, if you know something, you have to let us know. And for those individuals who might be considering it, don't do it. For those individuals who family members know they might be thinking about it, give us that call, give us that tip, give us that information so we can put out the proper resources to prevent it from happening.
What if they don't care about another loss of life?
Well, I would hope they do care. I hope someone out there does care.
What if they don't, though? What's your message if they don't care?
Well, my message is going to be the same. I would hope you do care. Just listen to those words. Care about your fellow neighbor and do the right things.
I just wanted to ask also, but I don't know if it's going to be you, but the 15-year-old who was also shot in the neck yesterday. And how she's doing, and like kind of the circumstances there.
Sure. So just after 8 p.m., about 8:20 p.m. Last night, 35th District officers responded to a house in the 1400 block of Loudoun where they found a 15-year-old female shot in the neck. They immediately rushed her to Albert Einstein. She was taken in critical condition. Shooting investigation group conducted an investigation. Preliminarily, what we believe is that female has been having an ongoing dispute, argument with other females in the area. They believe when she was shot, she was outside on the highway. A passing car, fired several shots towards her. We have some description of other females she's allegedly been fighting with. I have no idea what this fight's about, but it's been going on for several nights. So they're working on identifying these other individuals and bringing them in. The individual that shot last night, we believe, is in her 30s and may have shot towards her and possibly some others. So we're in the beginning of our investigation. We're looking for video. There was no ballistic evidence that we could find, but we believe it did occur outside and she ran into the house. So right now she's still hospitalized. I don't have an updated condition other than she was critical but stable yesterday.
So a 30-year-old shot a 15-year-old girl.
That's our preliminary description, but that's about all I have at this point. I don't know what they're fighting about.
30-year-old shot a 15-year-old.
She ran into a house and was found inside. I'm not sure whose house it was. Okay?
Oh, and then is there any way, do you have an update on the crash
case, she
here
bring up
in
another.
Sure. So, as you know, Crass Investigation has been working this case since it happened. Our investigation was completed sometime late yesterday. We submitted our investigation to the district attorney. It's under review, and at this point, it's still pending. So I have nothing further to tell you. As soon as we get an update from the district attorney's office, we'll move forward. Okay?
Is there any update on that second suspect that just went out for the block party shooting in West Philly? Is there any information?
He's a fugitive. He's a fugitive. We're looking for him. We have a warrant. Same charges as the Mr. Schultz, the same first individual. It's going to be 3 counts of murder and several counts of aggravated assault and attempted murder.
And he's known to police, obviously, because that was a mugshot over the crash.
Well, yeah, we know who he is, and we're urging people that if they know where he is, to let us know.
Does he have a location, any frequents or anything like that? Or is
I mean, he's from that area, West Philadelphia, but we currently don't know what his location is. So, okay.
Thank you.
And I just want to add, he was shot also. He was a shooting victim.
Yeah.
He was one of the 6. So right now, 2 of the 6. One's charged, and one we have a warrant for. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
Yo, People are ignorant. Black business owner Buckhead Crabro, who made $8 million first year, shot and killed in Atlanta. Damn. Full immunity. That cop shooting was not a racial shooting.
Deleted a dusty, what can you call them? What's the opposite of a Pookie? Sexy red? But now she was.
Nah. It wasn't.
Any side piece, the woman, mama, daddy, I'll send all their asses to jail. Yeah. Going in. Let me put this picture of this coward up. Family, at this time, I want to talk to you guys about an uncivilized mutt. There he is. That's Sean Grayson, former police officer Sean Grayson, who murdered a black woman in cold blood. When I say cold blood, family, I mean absolute.
Like, two sides to a motherfucking story, bro. You can't do or say bullshit like that.
It's fairly simple. Dave McCormick opposes abortion rights.
I'm someone who's pro-life, and I'll stand tall on pro-life policy.
More breaking news now. Disturbing body camera video shows the shooting death of Sonia Massey. The Springfield mother of two called police for help, but a sheriff's deputy shot her in her own home.
The deputy who pulled the trigger is charged with murder. Our Charlie DeMar is here with that shocking video. Charlie.
And Joe and Erica, good evening. President Joe Biden responded to the shooting, saying that Massey should still be here tonight. She called 911 to report a prowler near her home. And as you're about to see, the seemingly routine encounter quickly takes a deadly turn. We do want to warn you that this video is hard to watch. Body camera video shows Sonia Massey opening the door for Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson and his partner earlier this month.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir.
Doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right.
Once inside her Springfield home, Deputy
My medicine and stuff.
All right.
Once inside her Springfield home,
Oh, sir.
Doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right.
Once inside her Springfield home, Deputy Grayson asked Massey to check on the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
The situation quickly escalates.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
And there we go. There we have it. And I banged the gavel right there. They literally backed up because you grabbing water. After they said, we don't want a fire here, bro. Like, people ignorant. It's two sides to a story, bro. Ignorant. Uneducated.
Shoot you right in your fucking face.
Massey begins to set down the pot and then can be heard apologizing. Grayson fired 3 times, hitting Massey in the face.
I mean, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the face.
What made him kill my daughter?
James Wilburn is Massey's father.
A person like that, because of his white privilege, allows him to think he can do something like that and get away with it.
Sonia Massey, the Springfield mother of two, called police for help, but a sheriff's deputy shot her in her own home.
The deputy who pulled the trigger is charged with murder. Our Charlie DeMar is here with that shocking video. Charlie.
And Joe and Erica, good evening.
Sonia Massey family, they're demanding answers. They also say that they didn't know until 24 hours later that it was a deputy-involved shooting. The Department of Justice is now opening an investigation. Sonia Massey was shot on July 6th in her home. Police responded to a 911 call in the 2800 block of Hoover Avenue. Body camera video shows the moment a deputy shot her. Former Deputy Sean Grayson has now been charged with first-degree murder. Massey's family says that the 911 traffic also called the gunshot self-inflicted, creating even more questions. But the confusion continued even after her family realized she was shot by someone else.
We arrived on scene. We were trying to figure out what happened. We asked the officer what was going on. Did they recover camera footage? Because my cousin had cameras at her house.
When asked if the confusion was because the investigation had just started, Ben Crump said it's possible, but he said the family wants a full investigation. And we have new information. This is about the death of Sonia Massey. The Department of Justice is now opening an investigation. She was shot on July 6th in her home. Police responded to a 911 call in the 2800 block of Hoover Avenue. Body camera video shows the moment a deputy shot her. Former Deputy Sean Grayson has now been charged with first-degree murder. Sonia Massey's family is still demanding answers. They say didn't know until 24 hours later that it was a deputy-involved shooting.
We will continue to say justice for Sonia Massey. We will continue to fight for justice for Sonya Massey.
The family of Sonya Massey is still looking for answers and justice. Now the Department of Justice opened an investigation.
There have been some concerns and revelations by the family that we think needs to be investigated and addressed completely.
One of those concerns, Sonya's family says they were not told that a deputy shot Sonya until 24 hours after the shooting.
Not once was I told that the officer did it. They tried to make me believe that it was a neighbor or somebody that did it. And then the message got to the hospital that it was a self-inflicted injury.
Massey's family says the 911 traffic called the gunshot self-inflicted, but the confusion continued even after her family realized she was shot by someone else.
And they didn't tell me who. They were just saying somebody. They never would tell me who. They just kept on saying someone shot her.
When asked if this confusion was because the investigation had just started, Ben Crump said it's possible.
But we can't take it lightly with the history of cover-ups of police killings of black people in America. And so that's why we're just asking for it to be investigated.
Thanks, Julia. We're going to continue to bring you the more information as it becomes available. Local officials are reacting to the Sonya Massey shooting body camera footage. At last night's Quincy City Council meeting, Police Chief Adam Yates read a statement to the council. In the statement, Chief Yates said the video was difficult to watch, is incomprehensible, and said the behavior in the video erodes trust between law enforcement and the public. Yates also condemned the swift response from the other law enforcement officers, agencies.
This never should have happened. I commend the Illinois State Police and the Sangamon County State's Attorney's Office for their thorough and timely investigation, indictment, and arrest of Sean Grayson. The system worked as it should, and Mr. Grayson will have to answer for his crime.
To see the statement, head over to our website, khqa.com. Senator Doris Turner has also been working alongside civil rights attorney Ben Crump, Sonya Massey's family to demand justice. Sonya Massey's family is demanding stricter laws for police officers to prevent something like this from happening again. Former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who has been charged with first-degree murder for the death of Sonya Massey, has a previous arrest record. This includes 2 DUIs back in 2015 and 2016, both of them being a Class A misdemeanor and driving on a suspended license. He also has worked for several other law enforcement agencies before Sangamon County. This poses the question Sonya Massey's father is demanding, which is why he got hired here in the first place.
He said that Senator Turner is putting forth a bill to say that you shouldn't be allowed, if you are accused of some kind of
And welcome back to the second half hour. The Factor Uncensored. Family members are mourning the life of a black woman who lost her life to a deputy's bullet in Springfield, Illinois. Now, reports say 36-year-old Sonya Massey called 911 over a suspected prowler around her house. The situation escalated when deputies seen Sean Grayson noticed a pot of water boiling on the stove. So Massey goes to remove it. She laughs and tells Grayson she rebukes him in the name of Jesus. That's when Grayson says he would shoot her in the face. Massey quickly apologizes and ducks down, but the officer shoots and kills her, makes good on his promise. Here to talk about this disturbing case is former police officer and now private security consultant, Greg Dupree.
And joining us tonight on The Factor Uncensored to talk about this very disturbing case is former law enforcement officer and now private security consultant and expert, Greg Dupree. Greg, just very disturbing story. The video has been released of 36-year-old Sonya Massey being shot and killed by a Sangamon County deputy. I think he has been identified now as 30-year-old Sean Grayson.
Right.
Take us through this and make sense of this.
Well, basically what happened was the lady called the 911 in regards to a prowler that she believed had entered her home. The deputies responded and they checked the area, they checked around her home, and they were coming into the house to check the house, make sure everything was safe. And during that interaction with her, they found that no one was in the residence. They asked her for her ID. And during this time, she told them that she did not have an ID, but she didn't know where it was. And so when the deputies continued to question her, she got up and walked over to the stove where she had a pot of boiling water on the stove. And during that time, the deputies felt threatened by the pot, and they gave her commands to put the pot down. It escalated from there, in my opinion, on the part of one particular deputy, particularly because of the language he was using toward the lady. And she, in my opinion, took a defensive posture when they both drew their weapons on her, and where she ducked down and tried to, shield her face, at which time one of the deputies shot her 3 times and killed her.
That is just mind-blowing how a call for help from law enforcement turns into a murder like this. Now, a grand jury indicted Deputy Grayson last week, first-degree murder.
Right.
As they saw enough where he was... he went too far.
Cold.
When you hear someone, and I think one of the things that she said, in the name of the Lord, I rebuke you.
Right.
And so... I'm trying to put all of this together because it's hard to make sense of it. I mean, what do you think was first of all, what do you think was going on in Deputy Grayson's mind from what you saw in that video? Are you that afraid of a woman near a pot? I mean, I can understand if she picked it up and motioned and was starting to throw it at you, but she never did get a chance to pick it up, right?
Right. Well, she did. She did get a chance to pick it up, Isaiah. But let me speak to what was going on.
But did she throw it or make a motion like she?
No, she made no type of further gesture toward either one of the deputies. It's just something they assumed, in particular one deputy that shot her assumed. But let me say this: I can't speak for what was going on in that deputy's mind. I can give my opinion on what I saw. It was obvious from looking around the woman's residence that this woman was a potential hoarder and possibly had mental issues. Those should have been red flags for the deputies right off the bat when they entered her residence and saw that. She made the comment, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," after the deputy commented on getting away from her with the pot as it was a threat. My thing was, if they noticed that, the deputies could have easily asked to turn the stove off and pour out the water themselves, which they chose not to do. There was enough, in my opinion, from what I could see from the camera, it seemed like there was enough distance between the victim and the deputies where they had time, and they also had cover, because there was a counter there that one deputy could have easily ducked behind. There was a corner where the other deputy could have retreated to, and they could also retreated out of the residence altogether. In my opinion, I think the deputy that shot her overreacted. And it's just a sad tragedy that just took place for something I say, in my years of experience, it was something that could have been avoided easily.
Now, the family told CBS News, or at least the father told CBS News, that they were under the impression that an intruder killed her, or she died from someone else, but they never knew it was a deputy until his brother, that being Sonya Massey's uncle, read the report. And it indicated that deputies were involved. So for them to go as much time as they did and not know how she even died, that's questionable in itself.
Yeah, it's not only it's a travesty. At the time that this woman was killed by this deputy, and they identified her, they should have gotten in touch with her next of kin. The fact that they didn't, that was a great disservice to her family, and it's something that it's a black mark on that sheriff's department. Even though they fired the deputy, it was still about them covering themselves first, and they looked to see was it any, they might have been conducting their investigation to determine was the shooting justified. That made never mind. They should have looked into notifying her next of kin as quickly as they could.
You obviously always hate to bring it up, but do you think race had a role in this? And the way it was handled, number one, how she was shot, and secondly, how her family failed to be notified in a timely manner and told what went down?
Well, I can't, I can always speculate, which I'm not going to do at this time because, I can't speak for that deputy. I can say this. Cowardice definitely played a role into it, and being, as I said, overreacting. And this guy, both of these deputies, I'm just assuming are seasoned deputies, and man, I just get so frustrated every time I think about watching that video related to my own experience and think about how many times I've been placed in that situation and my actions were nowhere near as escalated to that as the were in this situation, particularly the fact that you end somebody's life.
So this is a World of Warcraft hard.
Now, this body camera footage revealed a lot about the moments leading up to Massey's death, but the family still had plenty of questions about the chaos that followed.
Multiple family members said they could not get straight answers from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office about what happened that night. They were not told it was the deputy who shot Massey until days later, and in some cases, they were led to believe it was an intruder who shot her or that Massey shot herself. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Hinkey is live outside in the Capitol newsroom. Cole, you learned today about how that misinformation spread.
That's right. Tonight, I obtained scanner logs from that night, and the audio from these phone calls shows a breakdown in communication between the Sheriff's Department on scene and the Sangamon County Dispatch. All of these recordings were obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request from the Sangamon County Dispatch.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
2868 South Hoover Avenue.
What's going on there?
I keep hearing stuff on the outside of my house, and it sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see?
That's Sonia Massey calling for help. New dispatch logs obtained by WCIA tell the story of why she called deputies to begin with and the chaos that ensued after she was shot.
Hi, is it Sonia?
Yeah, I got the Sheriff's Department here, but I was calling for help from y'all.
From there, the body camera footage released on Monday shows what happens next. 2 Sangamon County Sheriff's deputies respond to Massey's home within minutes. Deputy Sean Grayson shoots Massey in the face after she moves a pot of hot water from the stove.
As well. Like, that's the shit that I would have done. You gonna talk shit to him? Talk shit to whoever the fuck I was.
Then hear Grayson and the other deputy yell shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
The dispatch logs show more.
Headshot wounded a female. Headshot wounded a female. 1078.
Grayson asks if there is a history of Massey being a, quote, 1096.
80 call history with her being 1096.
He's asking if she's been a call involving mental health issues before. After that, a dispatcher can be heard asking to confirm if the gunshot was self-inflicted, but you can't make out the answer from deputies.
Just confirm self-inflicted.
But the confusion doesn't stop there. A different member of Sangamon County Dispatch calls state police.
We don't actually know what happened. He just screamed shots fired. Somebody heard, one of the dispatchers heard the gunshot, said a female shot in the head, but we don't know if she shot herself or a deputy shot her. Or what, yeah.
But then she gets new information.
They're now saying self-inflicted.
Dispatchers continued to struggle to get information about what happened. A call between dispatchers and a supervisor who hadn't been in the building all night shows they still did not know the circumstances of the shooting 3 hours after Massey died at the hospital.
So just had what, maybe an officer-involved shooting?
Okay.
We don't have any info, and nobody will tell us, which is really fun.
After Grayson shot Massey, he can be seen on body camera footage offering up what he said happened to deputies in the area.
You know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to face. I think she set it up on purpose. I have choice.
Members of Massey's family were not exempt from the chaos that night. Jimmy Crawford Jr., the father of one of Massey's children, said he views it as an attempted cover-up by deputies.
How do you get confused with you saying I shot her or she shot herself? To me, that's a cover-up from the get-go.
Crawford
He
arrived
said,
at the
no,
scene
bruh.
that night.
Y'all-
He said officers
media,
didn't tell
this the
him that it was a
media
deputy-involved
watching this
shooting.
case, bruh.
When I got to the
They
scene,
asked, he answered.
the officer notified me that it was under investigation.
That's like calling
We knew that she
911.
had problems with her
And
neighbor.
the 911
Not
dispatch
once
say,
was I told
"Calm down.
that the officer did
Stop
it.
crying."
Massey's
I need
son,
to
Malachi
understand,
Hill,
like, you know what I'm
learned his
saying?
mother
Like,
was shot from St. John's
people is just
Hospital and not the
ignorant
police.
They would never tell me who shot my mom, though.
And it all became one more reason that Massey's father, James Wilburn, is calling on Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell to step down.
Sheriff's resignation, because I think it's a culture to treat this family this bad, to call these lies. If it were not for that camera
The son
footage,
we
we as
looked
a
at the
people,
grandpa like, you
they
know,
would have lied and they'd have lied their way right out of this.
Yo, this is weird.
Do you like having a P.O. box but are tired of wasting time and money driving to the post office?
Sonia Pruitt, founder of police reform advocacy group Black Police Experience and retired captain of the Montgomery County, Maryland Police Department. Sonia, thank you so much for coming on the show. First, just like to get your reaction to the body cam video of Sonia Massey being shot and killed in her own home.
Thank you for having me. And first, my condolences to the Massey family and their loved ones. This was a really tragic incident that really could have been avoided. There was clearly a mental health element. We have a young woman calling for the police, ostensibly to check for a prowler, perhaps. And then the deputies come, and then she becomes someone who's under suspicion. I'm going to jump right to it. This woman asked for help. The deputies came. They have a conversation with her. There is something going on with the conversation where you might summarize or surmise that maybe there is a mental health element. And so now I know that, and I'm going to treat this person, this human being, with that in mind. But instead, when Miss Massey goes to her kitchen, she takes a pot off the stove, a pot of supposedly boiling water, the deputy becomes defensive. And then she becomes someone who is under suspicion. I have an issue with officers who put themselves in harm's way. In this case, the deputy asks or orders Miss Massey to put the pot down. She seems confused. She's trying to, like, what am I supposed to do? And the next thing you know, he has shot her. But if you are concerned about a boiling pot of water and you're an officer and you're in the space that he was in, why not retreat? The analogy for me is when officers want to hang on to the frame of a car door or put themselves in front of a moving vehicle and then expect that they can use lethal force because they placed themselves in this situation and it created this escalation instead of de-escalation. And that is what I see here.
What would have been the appropriate response in this situation? She starts saying, that she rebukes Satan or the devil, and it seems like she's still there with the pot. What would you have liked to have seen the officers do?
So if I see that she's picked up a boiling pot of water, I might just say, Miss Massey, and talk to her gently, please put that down. She looked as though she was trying to comply with whatever it was the deputy was saying, but maybe she became confused. And those, I'm going to jump a little bit forward about training. Are we training our law enforcement to recognize humanity when they respond to calls for service? Everybody is not out to kill the police. Everyone is not out to attack the police. Sometimes people are going through something. They don't deserve to die because they cannot make a split-second decision, which is what law enforcement asks the citizenry of this country to do. Allow for us to make a split-second decision.
The Massey family attorney Ben Crump told ABC News that the 36-year-old struggled with mental health. And far too often we see these types of encounters turn violent or deadly when mental health is at play, particularly for people of color. What do you think the solution is with that?
That's a great question. So, Black people are killed by police at twice the rate of white people, doing the most mundane of things, watching television, playing, in the case of a Tatiana Jefferson in Texas, playing with her nephew and thinking there's a prowler outside and picking up her gun because she wants to protect her family. It just seems that more and more, or at least we're noticing it more and more, Black people are not allowed that grace. And law enforcement has not been batting an eyelid which is concerning to me. Okay, so what we need is a commitment from law enforcement. We need to focus on some other things like training on equity, what service actually means, and what humanity looks like. That is the training that will save lives. And I think that the public is asking for that.
Sonia Pruitt, we thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Crazy.
Justice Department is looking into the deadly shooting of a Springfield, Illinois woman named Sonia Massey. Authorities say she called 911 to
New at 6, the Department of Justice has launched an investigation into the shooting death of Sonia Massey.
The woman was shot by a sheriff's deputy in Springfield.
Our Tara Molina's with us now. Tara, we're hearing not only from Massey's children for the first time, but also from a police expert who says the deputies made mistakes here.
Exactly, Marie and Joe. The police expert that I talked to today said that this entire encounter should have ended on Massey's front porch, calling this one of the least explainable police shootings he has ever seen. Her family speaking out, demanding justice. They say if it weren't for the video, no one would know the whole truth. We want to warn you, it's video that's hard to watch.
Why would it hurt you? You called us.
You're watching police body-worn camera video of the deadly police shooting earlier this month. Sonia Massey called 911 to report a prowler outside of her home, and Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and his partner showed up. You see them outside and then inside her house. Mistake one, according to University of Pittsburgh School of Law professor and use of force expert.
Never had to happen.
David Harris.
The whole encounter could have ended on the front porch.
Deputy Grayson eventually instructing Massey to check on the stove. He says they don't need a fire while there. That's when things take a turn. Massey turns off the stove and picks up a pot. Harris calls this the pivotal moment.
She simply says while she's holding this pot of water, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." This is not a threat. This is not a sign of danger, but this causes one of the deputies to pull his weapon.
Deputy Grayson, who raises his gun. Massey is seen apologizing and ducking for cover. That's when he shoots her. 3 shots are heard.
It just gives no basis for using force, and certainly not deadly force.
Massey's family speaking out in a press conference with their attorney Ben Crump after meeting with Governor J.B. Pritzker, where they called for legislation to improve policing.
She's just the most loving person ever. I don't know. That's the person that made me just feel so loved.
Massey's 17-year-old son and mother sitting down with CBS News.
I don't know how this could be real. I'm sorry.
They say police weren't transparent about what happened.
They said it's under investigation, and then they said that they told the doctor, the hospital, that she committed suicide first, and then they changed it. They kept changing the story.
We're gonna get justice for sure. I know. We are for sure.
The sheriff's deputy involved, Sean Grayson, has worked for 6 different law enforcement agencies since 2020. His attorney is declining comment. He was fired and remains held in custody awaiting trial after pleading not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct.
Tara, thank you for following this for us.
Technology careers offer nearly unlimited growth potential. You can build a tech career in a direction that best fits your personality.
All right, good afternoon. So
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate you staying up late with us. First up on The Factor, we start off tonight's show talking about a grueling situation. A 12-year-old girl is accused of smothering and killing her 8-year-old cousin over an iPhone on July 15th in Humboldt, Tennessee. They were both visiting their grandmother's house. Now, according to the county's prosecutor, a security camera recorded the killing inside the bedroom the young girl shared. The recording shows the older child using bedding to suffocate her cousin as she slept in the top bunk. After the child died, the 12-year-old cleaned up the victim and repositioned her body in bed. We have with us to talk about this tonight therapist Dr. Jasmine Boone and fathers Lewis Hunter. So, Lewis, as a father, when you first read this story and saw the video reports, your thoughts about it?
I was shocked. I was shocked to the extent that I realized the world that we live in today. You know, the fact that you could have a 12 and 8-year-old fighting over an iPhone, cousins, mind you, at grandmother's house, and then have the 12-year-old kill her cousin and then come back and position the body and try to cover up what she had done. You know, that doesn't happen overnight. That's not something, you know, you don't jump from most juvenile crimes are property related, burglary, vandalism, but you killed your cousin behind an iPhone. They need to lock her ass up.
And got back in the bed. And went to sleep.
You know, and I also read, I'm glad you mentioned that, because they said that they didn't find out until like a day or two later, I think.
They had to go watch the video.
The video.
Grandmother. And imagine what it was like for the grandmother to go and view that video for the first time.
But it also makes me question, why is there a camera in an 8-year-old's room? You know, a 12-year-old's room. You know, so there had to have been behavioral issues before that had not been addressed, and I'm sure they're going to scream mental health and, you know, all this other mess, and I'm curious to know what sort of mental health issues or therapy that she may have had before this.
All right, Dr. Jasmine Boone, your thoughts on this disturbing situation?
It's so unfortunate, and it's so, like, no one wins. Poor grandma, poor moms that lost both of their babies one way or the other. But, you know, we don't know. You know, according to the article and news, there's no speculation of mental health issues. So ruling that out, we do have to take into consideration that this girl, this 12-year-old, her brain is not fully developed, right? So we're talking about the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision making, consequences, the pros and cons, weighing them out before making the decision, long-term consequences, like all the things that the prefrontal cortex is responsible for. She hasn't matured into that yet, and won't for another 12 or 13 years.
Prosecutors don't care about that. They want to try her as an adult.
They want to try her as an adult, but who she is at 12 will not be who she is at 24, 30, 40. Like, literally, her brain is not fully matured, right? And so I personally and professionally don't think she should be tried as an adult. I think there is a desensitization that's taking place with the social media and all that good stuff, where she may know, like, I want to kill her, but you don't know the gravity and the long-term impact of your decision. And so I don't know that trying her as an adult is fair.
And before we get to you, Lewis, one of the issues I have here is when we as a society, all of us, covet a phone.
Oh my God.
It's a electronic device, but in this case, we're willing, allegedly, to kill for it.
Absolutely.
And adults are even worse.
We see it even in toddlers. The phone is like a deity now. It's like a god to a lot of these younger kids, where
a Bible where the Bible never could get. In our hands.
That's a word. I love that. Absolutely. It is sending them into a tizzy, and we have to pay attention to this, because not only is it the phone, like, what are they watching? You know, in researching this, I just randomly decided to just scroll Instagram and came across 5 murders or clips that were leading to a murder before it got cut off. We shouldn't be exposed to this on a daily. Like, we shouldn't have access to this, and we're adults. So think about an adolescent or a child.
I would like to know what's going on with the gluteus maximus cortex part of this kid. You know, how many ass whoopings has this kid gotten leading up to this? You know, there had to have been a discipline issue leading up to this. This just does not happen. overnight. And so I would really like to know, what sort of discipline. I think discipline is a big issue.
Yeah.
Lazy parenting. I think cell phones has a lot to do with lazy parenting. You throw them a phone or a tablet, they're out of your hair for a while. You can watch whatever reality show or whatever you're into on television. You get some quiet time for yourself. I know that they charged this child with, or from what I understand, they've charged her with first-degree murder. But like I said, like she said, there's a lot of talk right now as to whether or not you can charge this young lady. And it's become real unpopular over the last 20 years for judges to prosecute young children as adults. And as a result, the way that the statistics read is as though juvenile crime has gone down. But I think that the reality is that not as many of them are being prosecuted because it affects the professional resume of a judge who may want to move on to higher elected positions.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor.
First-time business owner. There's
Nickelodeon was kid everything, but that marked one of the darkest chapters. These are 3 predators who worked at Nickelodeon.
It made me wonder who was being hurt.
Have you ever told your story publicly before?
Quiet on Set, an ID true crime event, Sunday, March 17th at 9.
Day 2, and the woman accused of a fatal shooting at a Church's Chicken went back in front of a judge this Wednesday morning. Monica Williams is charged with first-degree murder for the fatal shooting that claimed the life of Anitra West. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. Following the attack, photos of the accused were released by police as they were trying to arrest her. Although the woman was seen on video, the defense is saying that may not be enough to move forward.
Well, a new hearing date is set for the woman accused in the shooting death of a fast food restaurant worker. Today, a judge reset Monica Williams' bond hearing for next month. She's accused of shooting and killing a Church's Chicken employee in Orange Mound earlier this month. Police say Williams shot Anitra West after an argument over payment for her order. Williams is facing a first-degree murder charge tonight. She remains in jail without bond.
Topping your news leader at 4 today, the woman charged with the murder of a Church's Chicken employee earlier this month was back in court for the 3rd time this morning. Today, a judge was set to decide the amount she would have to pay in order to bond out of jail.
But in a surprising twist, the 45-year-old, along with her defense team, waived their right to a bond hearing. Thank you for joining us. I'm April Thompson.
I'm Alex Coleman. Her attorney tells WREG's Sharita Patterson the delay will give them more time to build their defense.
Things started and ended pretty much the same from days earlier as Monica Williams was brought back into court Monday morning. The 45-year-old, after taking her seat, began playing what appeared to be a game of hide and seek with our camera. She was eventually called back up by the judge as she tried yet again to shield her face. Her defense attorney, Scott Hall, telling the judge his client was waiving her right to a bond hearing.
Currently speaking with people. We have investigators talking to the witnesses and trying to develop a defense in this matter.
Williams is accused of shooting to death Anitra West while the victim was at work at this Church's Chicken in Orange Mound at the beginning of July. But as what happened after the deadly shooting, Attorney Hall says he wants the court to take into consideration when it comes time to decide bond.
She turned herself in. She was not captured by police. She made the voluntary move to turn herself into the system.
This despite police alleging Williams was hiding out after the deadly attack, which led to a warrant